What is up, everybody? It's CJ Plays here, and I'm back with another Rosewood Park renovation video. So we're back in Rosewood Park, and the house that we're going to be furnishing today is called the Oliver. It is a 3-bedroom, technically 4-bedroom house, but it is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and I love the way that this one turned out, y'all. Okay, so let me explain. I have been watching a lot of TikToks lately of people being very sustainable and resourceful, people going to yard sales and going to eBay listings or just finding stuff and like repurposing items and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to have a house for Sims that are like thrifters or thrifty Sims that go to yard sales, antique shops, just kind of go and like accumulate secondhand items, but they kind of like curated a really nice living space. So basically everything in this house is, I don't want to say tacky, but it's a little bit tacky, maybe eclectic is what I should say. It's a little bit eclectic. Okay, so we have like a very old vintage TV entertainment center from the 90s. We have like these old mid-century couches, a record player that's kind of vintage. We have that really cool coffee table that came with Supernatural. I used like that Egyptian picture from World Adventures in here as well. I kind of just let my imagination kind of take over for this build. Now, I did keep most of the wallpapers the same in the house because I really like this color that I made. And the floors, of course, are all like the hard, dark wood, you know, like always. But it took me like a while to figure out like what I wanted to do. And then I had to keep pausing the recording a lot to play around with different objects and see like what goes good. Like, for example, that Drifter's Desire lamp, I don't think I've ever really used that for anything, and I just used it in the corner. Like, come on now. Also over here though, I use I think this like an Indian inspired bookshelf, and I also use the picture from the seasons pack. And then we're moving like kind of backwards, so we're going back to like the foyer. I saw this elephant rug and I was like, I need to use this somewhere. So I was going to use it in this little hallway section, but then I was like, it's too big. And then I was going to put 2 runners in here, and that was like, the runners are too big, so I ended up just using one. And then for that elephant rug, I ended up putting it in the kitchen. But like over here, I'm using like, I think that's the mirror that comes from the Indian set. And then we also have this dresser that comes with World Adventures, which I don't think I've ever used it. I know I did a video like a couple, maybe like a year ago at this point, but I did a video of items that I don't like, and I remember using that dresser. I just don't ever use a lot of this stuff. So like, this was a really good build for me to kind of flex my building muscles and furnishing muscles and just kind of trying out new things, you know? So moving on over here, we are in the kitchen. So of course, as y'all know, I had to do my little signature angled kitchen thing with the tile. I don't know why I've started doing this, but I just think it looks so cool, especially when you put like a little fence. I'm using the Fee Fi Fo fence from the base game. It's really nice when you can kind of just like trace it, and it kind of makes a nice border from the kitchen, from the dining area. I'm also using the Pets countertops and cabinets. I don't know why, but I really just like this set. And then I also, of course, put a nice backsplash and some nice stone on the floor. So, you know, it was kind of all coming together. I also used this really nice range hood. I think it's from like the cottage set. I don't know why, but it takes me the longest time to find range hoods in this game. They're listed under wall lights, and I always forget that, so it takes me like an extra long time to find them, but I finally found it today. And then over here, I'm just putting like the finishing touches on the kitchen. So I use like a gothic style table with matching chairs. I use like those Indian inspired wall lights, which I don't think I've ever used those for anything. So I knew for a fact I had to just use it. This whole entire like house was just a really good excuse for me to use items I never used before, because like I just love how everything turned out. I even used that trash can. I think it comes with World Adventures. I don't think I've ever used it ever. So like, yeah, this was just a really good excuse for me to use items I never really used before. But moving on, we're over here at the first bathroom. So this is like the one that's underneath the staircase. It's kind of small. There is a much bigger one upstairs though, so I use the shower. I think that is from Island Paradise, I want to say. And then I use the Cambodian styled sink, and then I was going to use like the matching mirror to go with it, but the mirror was a little bit too big for the space, so I ended up using a base game mirror, and I used the mid-century toilet. I feel like the house kind of has like this brownish beige color scheme, but I feel like it kind of works in a way. And then I did go back off camera and put like a little rug in the bathroom just to kind of have something on the floor. But moving on, this is the first bedroom. So in my brain, I'm like, this is a guest bedroom maybe, or I don't know. Like I didn't really have a particular sim in mind for this one. It was kind of just just to make this into a bedroom. Looking back, this could have been a home office, but I was like, we can make it into a bedroom. So I used like the bed. I forgot what set. I think it's like the Regal set from the Sims 3 store. I also used this really nice dresser that I just saw, and it took me a while to figure out what kind of mirror I wanted to use. There's so many good ones in the game, and there's so many that I've just never used before, like that really big one right then. I used that upstairs in one of the upstairs bedrooms, but I ended up settling for that mirror. I forgot what set it comes from. I think it might also be the Regal set, and then I also used that elephant rug in here. I didn't end up using it in the kitchen because I was like, it maybe didn't look that good, so I moved it over here in this bedroom. And then I also used a chair that comes from the Cambodian set, I believe, and then I also used like the World Adventures palm tree just to kind of put it in the corner. And then before we went upstairs, I wanted to put like another little end table and a bookshelf down here in the entryway, so I used the end table from Island Paradise and I used the bookshelf. I think it's like a mid-century bookshelf. But moving on upstairs, I was trying to figure out where to put that mirror, so I put it in like the other bedroom. So for this one, I have like the parents, you know, living in this bedroom, so I used the Egyptian bed. I paired it up with those Drifters Desires nightstands. I was gonna do like a little mix and match situation with two different ones, but I didn't really like how it looked, and I couldn't get the colors just right on this one, so I swapped the other nightstand out with the matching one from the Drifters Desire set. I also changed the color of the bed sheets as well. The ceiling lights in this build all come from the World Adventures pack, and I feel like I've never used that before. I also like changed the swatch for the one in this room, by the way, because I thought it looked kind of cool, but I've never used any of those ceiling lights before. I also used like this really nice mirror. I forgot what set it comes from, but I thought it kind of looked really nicely in here. I also used a contemporary dresser, and then I was trying to like squeeze this World Adventures plant in here. Like I was just trying to figure out a use for it. I also used that really nice torch light from World Adventures. I thought that was like a nice touch in here. And then moving on, this is the nursery. So it took me a while to kind of figure out what color scheme I wanted to go for. It took me a while to get everything right. I knew that I wanted the nursery to kind of be put together, so like nothing in here really matches that much. So we have like, you know, different objects from different sets from the Sims 3 store. So we use like the animal crib. We have the rocking chair. I think that comes from Supernatural. We have a changing table. I use this bookshelf. I always forget this exists, but it's from the Seasons pack. It is so cute for nurseries and kids rooms. So I knew I had to like use that in here as well. But yeah, the color scheme is kind of like a teal bluish kind of color, green a little bit. It's kind of interesting to think about. But moving on, this is the other bedroom. So in my brain, I'm like, maybe a grandparent lives in here, or like a couple of grandparents live in this back room. So for this room, we have this bed from the Drifters Desire set. I don't think I've ever used that bed before. And it comes in like this nice swatch that is like gray, and it has like the dusty pink bed sheet. And I was like, I've got to use that. I also paired it up with those Indian nightstands. And then I also used one of the base game dressers in here too, because I thought it kind of was nice, and I recolored it a little bit. I used that big mirror that you just saw. I ended up putting it against the wall, and then I was trying to put like a couple rugs now, so I layered a couple of those sunflower rugs, and I put a little bit of those little poof ottoman things above them just so Sims could have a place to sit. But that's pretty much it for this bedroom. I did, however, have to go back off camera to rotate one of the little poofs because otherwise a Sim couldn't sit on it. Oh, and I also used those nice little Tiffany lamps in this bedroom too. I don't know why, but I just really like the way that this bedroom turned out. Again, I think it's a little bit tacky, but like in a tasteful way. I guess y'all have to let me know how you feel about this build in the comments down below. But like, I feel like everything kind of flows together in a okay way, you know what I'm saying? But moving on, this is the second bathroom. So for this one, I wanted this one to be a little bit different from the one downstairs, so I chose a different stone wallpaper. I also used that phone booth shower from the movie pack, and I think that's like the Drifters Desire sink, I want to say. I could be wrong about that. I also used like this really nice Asian, I think it's from like the Asian Fusion set maybe, but it's like an Asian styled mirror. I also used a nice rug in here, and I also used the Asian styled toilet as well. And then I was trying to like figure out what plant to put in here, so I used like one of the little ones from the base game. And then moving on, this is the last room in the house. So originally I wanted this one to be like a playroom, but then I was like, no, I kind of wanted this to also be a bedroom, so I was like, why don't we just kind of combine both of those ideas? So we have like basically another spare room in the house, you know, maybe like when the baby in this house grows up to be a teenager or something, they can have their own little section. So for up here, I used two different beds. I think one of them is from World Adventures and the other one is free store content, I want to say. And I also used like that nice tropical print rug. Again, everything in here kind of is mismatched, but it kind of works together in a good way, you know? I also ended up using, I think it was like an Indian inspired couch. I ended up using it on the other side of the room. And then for the left side of the room, I wanted to make this into like a little kids corner. So I put a dollhouse, a toy box, a little rug down. I also ended up putting a computer desk in here as well, just so your Sims can have like, you know, a computer, because I didn't realize that we didn't have one in this house. So I made sure to put a computer desk in here as well. But that's pretty much it though for the entire build. It didn't really take me that long to furnish this one, and I just gotta say again, y'all, I love how this one turned out. So if you want to download this house, I'm gonna leave it linked down below. Don't worry, I know a lot of y'all have asked in the past. I do plan to release the whole entire save file once I'm done. I think we only have around like 8 houses left to go. I want to say it's less than 10, I know that much. So I'm thinking like 8 or something. So we don't really have that much further to go. And again, if you do want to download this and change stuff, feel free to. I don't really mind. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below, follow me over on Twitch where I stream a lot more of The Sims, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!